This tummy. Trying to get flatter here. Put on a little bit of weight, not much, just a little bit, but enough that it bothers me. So defending Elvis Presley. Okay, so I've just mowed the lawn. Picked up the kids from school, mowed the lawn, but Tino stayed with the mum because there was a little football class that Tino does after school on Thursday, and Aurora assists, so she helps because she's going to be a sports teacher. So Yasmin has just been taken by her auntie to ballet dancing, and she also does modern dance, 2 dance lessons. So basically, I'm all alone for about an hour. Now, I was going to quickly do a laptop live at home, but the kids are there, you know, the boys, so Rio and Giovanni. And the wife's going to turn up at any moment, so I thought there's no point starting a live because as soon as she gets home, she's going to be like, she's going to want the kitchen. So I thought, I'm just going to do a dog walk. I'm planning on doing 2 dog walks. Hi, Hillbilly Cat. I did read your email. I read all of it, Matthew. Now, Matthew, can I ask you, do you mind if I read that out? Matthew on Hillbilly Cat, the YouTube channel. Do you mind if I read that out? Because I liked some of the things you said in it. It sort of contradicts a few bits. I wanted to bring them up. Yes, good. So I'm just trying to go from memory. Obviously, we have been discussing Bridget Cruz and Priscilla. Quite a serious live stream. Obviously involves Colonel Tom Parker, it does involve Joel Weishankar, Jack Sodden, involves the massive collection of items that Colonel Tom Parker seemed to have hoarded. I must say, I don't see how those items can be his, but they should be Elvis's or Lisa's, but I suppose he took the time to hoard them, didn't he? Must have taken him years to build up a collection like that. Let me just let these people walk past. So, I think I've already said it. So last night, I had people sending me this information. Right, let me just get past these people a minute. God, everyone getting home from school. People, I missed that comment, sorry. Right, I've still got to get past these people, otherwise they laugh at me. Strange guy with the phone holder with the big quiff walking down the road in his vest. Anyway, as I was saying, so I said it already on Elvis Presley Fan on Keto that it took me a while to sort of scrape all these bits together. The stuff the Colonel had was mostly work produced of his office, so it did belong to him. Yeah, I know. So I have read about this, Matthew. I know a lot of it was letters and documents, receipts. I've read all that, but he did have a lot of personal items as well, didn't he? Yeah. I suppose a lot of it could have been given to him by Elvis. You know, like the rings, yeah. Jewelry, yeah. 100% there were definitely, most of the jewelry was gifted to him. Yeah, I've seen Priscilla in her little interview boasting about how these secret items have been found, these long lost items that really could have belonged to Elvis Presley Enterprises when they did the deal in 1990, the 1.25 million deal, when they literally bought everything from the Colonel, literally everything, including to use his image and likeness, yeah, for promoting the products that they bought from him. And I think he was writing a book. He wanted permission. Colonel Tom Parker wanted permission to use pictures of these items for his book. Yeah, does that sound about right? So, anyway, as I was saying, hi Tony. As I was saying, I still think some of these items, the book was, how much does it cost if it's free? The book was, that's what the name of it, yeah? I still think he would have had many items that were not his. Honestly, I know what you're saying, Matthew, but I still think a lot of the items were not his. Because if they're Elvis's receipts, if they're Elvis's letters, Elvis documents, how does that make them his? I agree they were in his office. I agree some of them would have been his. Yeah, I accept that, but not all of them. No way. Don't forget, he had 3 lorry loads of stuff. Was it 3 massive lorry loads of stuff? And this involved, wasn't there a lot of things other than documents, letters, and jewelry? There was other things as well. Yeah, I think that's almost impossible, isn't it? Wasn't there hundreds of thousands of items? Like Angie Marquez in her little transactions with the letters and her WhatsApps and that, she talks about how these items were logged. Yeah. So sorry, it's noisy. The cars are noisy. The whole thing is messy, but the bottom line is the agreement from Jack Sodom, which we read out, which you guys can find on that YouTube channel. It's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. Everything you have is now ours. And it must be everything. It's very clear. So there is a grey area how Greg McDonald came into possession of these items, still had these items after the deal with Jack Sodom. Yeah? I mean, I would say this, I've thought about it, and there is a possibility that some of these items were gifted to Greg. I think, by the sounds of it, Greg was very close to the Colonel. Tell me the relationship, guys. What was the relationship between Greg McDonald, the guy, it's an era of paper records, the guy had copies. Yeah, I heard that he said they were all copies, didn't he? When he spoke to Elvis Presley Enterprises, he does say he's got copies of everything. I think that's one of the things I read, I'm pretty sure. So there is a possibility, just thinking out loud. Yeah, EPE bought the carbon originals, all that, yeah? And the original paper copies as well, yeah? So there is a possibility that before the deal, 1990, with Jack Sodom, there is a possibility some of it was gifted to Greg by the Colonel. How did, just if anyone knows, what was the friendship, the relationship between Greg and the Colonel? What was it? Yeah? Does anyone know? Greg McDonald. I know he's passed now. And now it's all to do with his son, Thomas. Does Priscilla have possession of the items? It was gifted. All the employees had the copy records. It was just business. But I understand what you're saying, but there's so many thousands of items. Tens of thousands, from what I've been told. That, There probably is an inventory, I can't even say that word, of what was included in this deal. Don't forget, 1.25 million in 1990. That's a bloody lot of money. I bet there is a list out there. Now, I think I read somewhere, I heard that the father and son type of relationship, I'm thinking of the right guy. All right, father and son. I'd like to know more details than that. But he obviously was very important to the Colonel if the Colonel's going to gift him a massive amount of belongings. We did that video the other day that showed the Colonel's home and office being knocked down. All the walls were panelled. I think I'm pretty sure Matthew emailed me about it. It was demolished and all that, and all the items were carefully removed bit by bit. Does that include, let me just get past these people. So you got the demolition of the home and outhouse. I think it became a car wash, yeah? Does that include all the items that were in that? I expect it does, doesn't it? Everything that was included in that building, because obviously the building was emptied before it was knocked down. So does it? Does that include those items? Probably. I'm sure there was paintings, and I'm sure there was paintings. There were no items in it, but does include the shower tiles. That's interesting. Shower tiles. So anyway, the bit that's confusing, this is what was told to me by our source, was that, how can I say it? So Bridget Cruz, early on, when she first finds out about these items, decides that she's going to tell Jack Sodden about them. I think her own words were something like, I don't like these kind of things going on, so I thought you should know. Basically telling EPE and Jack Sodden to be aware of these items. I think she's hinting that she thinks, hi Richie boy, I think she's hinting that she's basically saying these items belong to EPE. She knows of their existence, and to make them aware of it. I think that's how it starts off. After that, it goes a bit grey, but then it does seem a couple of years later, you start getting Priscilla talking about this long lost collection that she's found. You see there's a few interviews on YouTube, news interviews. She's boasting about these items. She's showing off the jewellery that probably was gifted to the Colonel by Elvis. Elvis, I think she said something like, Elvis knew that the Colonel didn't like jewellery, didn't wear jewellery, so Elvis would give it him just for the sake of it, just to make him laugh, yeah? I don't know if that's true, but that's what Priscilla said. And actually, something did come up when we were discussing this. The TCB necklace. It was brought up in the topic. I want to do a live stream and dedicate it just to the TCB necklace. I want to know, obviously Priscilla says, I think they were on an aeroplane, they were discussing this idea, and there was a lightning bolt, a lightning strike, and that gave her the idea, and that she thought of the words TCB and the lightning strike. Is that true? Bearing in mind, everything Priscilla says, I question it. Now, it does sound very fairy tale-like, that they were together, all happy and on an aeroplane, and they were thinking of a design, and Priscilla just happened to think of the logo, and there was a bolt of lightning which gave her the idea to put the bolt of lightning as part of the TCB logo, yeah? According to June Junico, TCB was around long before, but meant something else. I read Matthew, I read that they used a logo like that in the army when Elvis was in the army. Elvis, she says lightning bolt Priscilla. Priscilla was not involved, yeah. But Pat, I think there's a high chance that Priscilla did not design it, and it was not her idea, and there was no lovely aeroplane journey, and there was no light of bolt bolt of lightning. Does it, Matthew? Go on then, far away, let us know. We're all grown-ups here. But when I listen, I quickly went onto YouTube. Tony, she even says she chose the words TCB. Because I've seen the interview. I've done a few shorts on it, and I have covered this before. The TCB story. The Cherry Busters told her that in the car in the moonlight. The Cherry Busters says, I believe Rhonda covered this and said Priscilla was not involved. Pat, I've seen Rhonda's little show. Wasn't she more talking about the smaller size, the Lisa Marie's TCB necklace? There was something that was done to take away the sharp end of it, so they rounded it off. Wasn't it something to do with Lisa's TCB necklace? But I will look that up. I think what we'll do a live stream. We'll bring up Rhonda's show. I'll be honest, you guys. I haven't done enough research yet, but I find it too good to be true. So Priscilla's story is very much, we were on the aeroplane and we were trying to think of it, and then there was a bolt of lightning and that gave me the idea. Well, Pat, I've already done a bit of research on this. I found 2 videos on YouTube where she says she thought up the name TCB and the lightning strike. She says it in her own words, from her mouth. Now I don't believe it. She definitely says it. Look it up. Just type it in on YouTube. I've done a couple of shorts on it about a year ago. She clearly takes full credit. Okay. Well, Tony, I understand that, but we don't know, do we? So what we're going to do, we're going to dedicate a live stream just to finding out as much as we can about the TCB logo, the letters TCB, and whose idea it was, truly whose it was, not Priscilla telling us a really nice story, which is how it seems. Don't forget, Priscilla is the best at telling fairy tales. You know, it's like when she talks about that Elvis and Priscilla waited till the night of the wedding to have sex and have a baby. Well, she in the video I watched, Tony, she says I chose the words TCB. She says it. I'll play when I do the live stream. I'll play it. Yeah. I found about 4 videos. I found 3 where two where she says it. At the moment, the TCB creation with Priscilla and Elvis were they even getting along? Good point. We're gonna go through this together. Because there's quite a lot of interest. So we're gonna do a whole live on it. I found Presley Mania's videos. We might play a bit of that. Rhonda's, we like Rhonda. Please subscribe to her. Then we're gonna dig up all these little videos. Well, Tony, I'm not gonna call her a liar yet. Let's do our research. Yeah, let's be fair. I do think there's a good chance she's lying. Definitely do. Yeah. I told you, Louis, I just Googled it and it said Elvis did it. Well, Pat, when I Googled it, because I Googled it as well, it clearly says that Priscilla thought of it. Taking Care of Business was from the song Elvis. He picked it. Yep. I've seen both versions. where is it? I often find I was wrong. I try to remember that all the time. I don't trust Google. The song was from BTO, a Canadian band. Yeah, there's quite a few interviews on there, guys. If you Google it, you'll find my ones as well. I've got a couple of shorts on there. Priscilla's name was never mentioned. Well, it was. Pat, it was on the ones I found. Richie boy, we're trying to decide who was the true person that thought up the TCB logo and the lightning bolt. Who was it? Who was that man? I'd like to shake his hand. Priscilla thinks it was her. So it's going to be a fun one. Linda Thompson also had said that they designed it. Linda Thompson, Google it. Yeah, I will Google it, but remember, I don't trust Google. I go to Rhonda and ask her again. Yes, yeah. Let's get other people involved. Now remember, Rhonda wasn't there. So Rhonda, it will be her research. Yeah? So we need to get as many people's opinions as possible. Because none of us were there, were we? So it'd be interesting to see where Rhonda goes for her research. So as I was saying about the song came about in 1973. It was not Priscilla. She was not around. Good point, Dan. Ooh, here we go. I'll see you in a minute. It's the wife. The jewelry are key when it was made. Linda said she designed there in an interview. Linda didn't say, wasn't Elvis a big fan of Captain Marvel and the lightning bolt? Good point, Josie. Good point. There we go, see? I wonder if Joe and Billy would know. There we are. Pat, they're good people to ask. They're good people to ask. We're going to have a fun live, I tell you that. If I could, I would do it today, but yeah. No one can prove Elvis ever read Captain Marvel. But Matthew, how can you prove that no one can prove it? Do you see how it works, guys? Because we talk about proof, but then you've got to proof the proof. So I have no idea. We all know that Elvis loved comics, but can we prove it? You get it? We are just Elvis fans. We weren't there. Many of the people that talk about Elvis were not there. Vernon said he did an interview. The legend came from Elaine Dundee. She revealed comics from the time. Elvis has been a taint Marvel fan since a kid. Yeah, it probably was. Josie, that was the bold from the mean flash. So I'm trying to quickly read your comments, guys. It's interesting, isn't it? Because none of us know really, do we? Even if things are in books, Amy and Darby would know. I've already asked Amy, and she said she's just as unsure as we are. We can prove Elvis loved comics, plenty of documentation, but not the titles. Ah, right. I get that. I did ask Amy, and she sort of said she's not sure, but she thought it could have been Priscilla. That's sort of what Amy said, but she did say she's not sure. So she did send me Presley Mania's video. Tonya, thank you for the gift for Tino. Tonya sent Tino a little gift. The cape idea was from the comics. So I think it's going to be a fun live. We're going to put it out there. I think you'll be surprised how many people start commenting on the whole idea of who invented the TCB logo. Darby, yeah, I could ask Darby. I will. I'll send her a message. The case idea was from Bill Below, not the comics. I will message Darby and ask her. I'll say to her, who did it? Who invented it? Now, I keep saying that Priscilla is the queen of making up fairy tales. She wants us to believe the romanticized ideas of, oh, we were on an aeroplane and that's how we thought of it. Just like she wants us to believe, Richie boy, if you Google it, you'll get a lot of different answers, yeah? It won't just be the one you just gave me, but I hope it was. She likes to tell us the fairy tales. She likes to tell us the stories. Like the night of the wedding, they had sex and she got pregnant and she had lost her virginity. We know that isn't true because Lisa's told us that Priscilla was not a virgin. Darby is awesome when it comes to research. Pat, she is, but she wasn't there. Remember that. It doesn't matter who gives us the answer. They were not there. He liked the comic, you know. Now, someone like Billy Smith would be good because he was there. You get it? Billy Smith may know. Billy Stanley may know. I might message them both. Someone's got to know the actual origin of it, haven't they? The true, not Priscilla's version. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-doo. Oh, 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 what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine. I don't know the words, I just make them up as I go along. Plenty of sunshine. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. You, Louis, do that would help. Then would. Yes, Louis, do that. Yeah, Tony, I'm gonna message Billy Stanley and Darby. I've already messaged Amy. She's already told me. It was Richie, were you there? Were you there? Let's see what Billy Smith says and Darby Shaw and Billy Stanley says. Let's get it from them. We know that Priscilla is saying it was her. If you go on YouTube, Priscilla says it was her. I don't believe her. You was there, yeah? Priscilla was there, she says. Zip, zip, zip. Dan might have been there. Dan, were you there? So, if only we had a time machine, we could travel back in time. Right, nearly home. Right. Right, nearly home, guys. I know, Don. 1,000%, mate. Yeah. It's all right. I missed a few of your comments. I'll tell you what, it's getting sunnier here in the UK. So that's what we're going to do, guys. The next live, we're going to discuss the TCB necklace. We're going to find out who's right. Is Matt right from Hillbilly Cat? Is Dan right? Is Richie right? Richie boy. Or is Pat right? It's like a whodunit, isn't it? It's like, dum dum dum. Or is Louis right? Is Louis right? He has no idea. He is completely clueless. Jump on again in a bit. I want to. Don't know if the wife's going to let me. I will try though. So I'm nearly home. I'll tell you what I will do. Yes, we could get on a time machine. Hi Louie and Team Loves. Hi Kay. Apparently it was Elvis. Google. Also, all we know about Priscilla takes care of a lot of things. Whew, I managed to read that. Kate, I don't trust Google. I don't trust Google. And I hope it was Elvis. I really do. All I can really do is try and research lots of different opinions, say them all on a live stream, and we'll just go from there. Yeah. Do I think Priscilla did it? No, I don't. No, I don't. But many do. Many do. Yeah. So it's interesting, guys, because I think it's important to us. I think we, the fans of Elvis, we want to know. We'd like to that it was 100%. I like that. Elvis JC Award says he was the hero of the comic book. Yes, he does. He does say that. So that's, yeah, Josie, that's proof that Elvis loved comics. Where do you go to get your research, if not Google? Well, I could list 100 things. Pat, do you really think I just get my research off Google? Let me just let this person cross. Pat, I like your stubbornness. It's cool. Now, Pat, if I sent you the research that I get in a week, You 100% would not think it was Google. I literally I reckon I get 20 things a day sent to me. Almost none of them are from Google. Pat, I'm just playing with you. Honestly, I don't trust Google, yeah? I get loads and loads of different things sent to me. Documents, letters, of course, interviews, videos, Facebook pages, all different social media sites, many different search engines other than Google. There's quite a few. Priscilla was long gone by the time. Well, that's a good argument to say. Hi, Martha. You'll be surprised. I even get sent documents. I even get sent research. Like Andrew Morenin, he's one of my people that sends me research. I've had loads of research from Andrew. Andrew, thank you for your research. That's by email. Pat, I get a lot of things sent to me by email. Yeah. So you get what I'm saying. Guys, I gotta go, guys. My wife's ringing. I'm gonna try and get on for a live stream as soon as I can, okay?